Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining our session. Once again, my name is Amanda Asantwa-Sofeje, and I'm very happy to have you join us today for our session. Today's session promises to be very interesting and very insightful as well. I have with me here today Barbara Asari of Omni Global, and I also have Janelle Esquire, Janelle Oku. I also do have with me here Andrea Delali, and I also have Bizer W. Jaka. So without much ado, okay, I just have Millie joining us as well. So without further ado, I'll just give the floor to Barbara Asari to just begin with us today. Barbara, you can take over.
Good afternoon, everyone. Today we are going to be talking about this exciting recruiting opportunity that Omni Global Solutions have. So I will share with you our agenda for the day. We will talk a little bit about Omni Global Solutions, what we are all about, and I'm going to talk about the unique opportunity and also the recruiting details. And we will give you some time for Q&A. And so as we are presenting this, please make sure that you are jotting down your questions so that we can answer them when we are done. So the presentation will mainly focus on two people. I will be doing the recruiting part, and I am the Human Resources Executive for Omni Global Solutions. And Janelle will be the immigration lawyer, also talking about this recruiting opportunity. So we will be tag teaming with the presentation. So a little bit of Omni Global Solutions. Omni Global Solutions, we have been operating for the past few years, and under this organization, we are into healthcare, human resources, legal, corporate governance, and also information technology and logistics. So we are focused on the private and public sectors. So we are not just one area. So whatever the opportunities are in the private and public sector, we partner with organizations and make sure that our clients are satisfied with what we do with them. And also, what I can also say is that we make sure that we evaluate the partners that we go into partnerships with to make sure that we have the highest moral and ethical standards as well. So enough about Omni Global. I know you are all tuning in for this unique opportunity, so let me just jump right into that. So our opportunity is all about this recruiting opportunity in Northern Virginia. And what it's all about is that the employer who is looking for potential employees will sponsor green cards as you get into this opportunity. So why are we doing this? We are doing this because there's a need for this employer. This employer has been searching, casting the nets wide, and we are not getting enough applicants for these positions. So that is why we are extending this opportunity to international students, and that is why we are here today. So I think Janelle have to do this.
Sure.
So Janelle, why don't you start? Because you are the green.
I'll hop in. Yes, as Barbara said, she and I are tag teaming. So she's already introduced to you an opportunity for a green card. Mm-hmm. So I'll just briefly go over the green card process. First, if I can, I'll just do a quick introduction of myself. My name is Jonello Clue. I'm the managing attorney at law offices of Janello Clue, Lojo Immigration. So I've been doing employment-based immigration for the last 15 plus years. And what I do is I help people to apply for green cards and eventually citizenship in the United States, whether it's through family sponsorship or more often, quite often with employer sponsorship. So this opportunity that Barbara has been talking about is an employment-based green card. And it's especially, I think, useful for our audience, the Aspire audience, because, you know, many of you are here in the United States, you are studying, you're going to be getting your degrees. Once you get your degree, you know, there's the option, of course, of going back home, going back to your home country and using the education you have obtained here in the United States. But quite often, people who come to study in the United States either want to be able to remain here in the US for some years to progress in their career, or sometimes even they seek permanent status here in the United States. They want to remain, get green cards, get US citizenship. So this is what we're going to talk about, is the employment-based process. So Barbara, if you don't mind advancing it to the next slide. Okay, so what I'm talking about today is employment-based green cards, all right? So as Barbara already mentioned to you, this opportunity in Southern Virginia, employment-based green cards are allowed because there are a number of US employers, okay? American companies where they cannot find enough Americans to do the work. So they are allowed to sponsor foreign nationals, people from other countries, to do the work in exchange for a green card. Okay, so the green card process through employment is 4 major steps. Okay, one is getting the labor certification. The labor certification that deals with US Department of Labor. Okay, the employer, it's an employer centered, employer run process. The employer has to prove to the US Department of Labor that they really cannot find sufficient, willing, able, qualified US workers for the job. Once they are able to prove that to Department of Labor, they are given a labor certification, okay? With the labor certification, they can then move on to the second stage. The second stage is the immigrant petition for a foreign worker. That's Form I-140. I'll try not to, you know, throw a bunch of immigration jargon at you today. We'll just say that when the employer shows they cannot hire sufficient Americans, they are then allowed to petition for a foreign worker. Now, with that petition, once the foreign worker priority date, okay, priority date is current, and that will depend on a country of origin, okay, your country of origin, you will be allowed to apply to adjust your status. So basically, many of you right now are in the United States as F1 status international students. So you would adjust from being an F1 to a permanent resident, which is basically green card holder. Everybody knows green card. So that is the actual application for the green card. But the other thing, 2 things have to happen first before you can then apply for permanent resident status. While this application for permanent residence, okay, the application to adjust your status is pending, you are allowed to apply for work authorization so that you can be working during the process. Also, you can travel, you can apply for a travel permit. Once the application to adjust status is actually approved, at that point, fine, you are a green card holder. They give you the green card. You're a permanent resident, you know, you live, work anywhere in the United States that you want. So this opportunity that Barbara is talking about today is an opportunity to have an employer sponsor you for an actual green card. Okay, all right. So, okay. I'll just talk, and we always get the question, how much is this going to cost me? How long is it going to take? So I said, let me just say it, because we'll have Q&A, because I'm sure you'll have other questions, but let's just get to money and time. Time is money. That's what people want to know about. How much, okay? So generally think of $10,000, okay? $10,000. Government filing fees, all right? Government filing fees are 700 for the immigrant petition, 1,225 for the adjustment of status. Yes, there are fees involved in the labor certification process to Department of Labor, but Department of Labor have specific regulations that say that the foreign national, okay, cannot pay for any of this labor process, labor certification. So the employer is taking care of all of those. The employer is taking care of the labor certification. So as far as, you know, the sponsored individual, these government filings fees, and then additional 800 in legal fees. So you're looking at a round figure of 10,000, okay? And then how long? We tell people, okay, you know, kind of think about this as, you know, roughly 2 years. Things change, okay? Government processing times change. Quite honestly, it's been very slow, you know, the last 4 years under the prior Trump administration. Our hope is that processing times will improve, you know, with the new administration, but it's good to think about it as roughly 2 years. And in fact, it works out because Barbara is going to talk to you a little bit more, but, you know, obviously the employer is sponsoring you so that you'll work for his company. So, you know, there's also the time that you need to spend working for the company. So those two things are done in tandem. Okay, next slide. All right, so I'll let you take it away, Barbara.
Okay, thank you, Janelle. So just as we know, yes, the organization wants to sponsor, but at the same time, you are coming in as an employee. So let me give you a little bit of a background of this organization. So this business has been in operations for over 7 years. And it's a private owned organization, and he addresses the exceptional home care possibilities for its clients. And the organization is also making sure that any employee that comes through gives their clients the best customer service and exceeds their clients' expectations. So where is this organization? They provide services in the southern market, the southern area of Virginia, including Norfolk, Virginia, Virginia Beach, Chesapeake, Portsmouth, and Suffolk. So the first opportunity is the personal care aid. So the personal care aid, usually you are responsible for the emotional, making sure that you are being tactful, you are being honest and discreet about this work, because you will be working in the private homes of these clients. And some of your responsibility is pretty much making sure that the client is comfortable. And it will be very important that you do have transportation to get to these homes, because sometimes you will be assigned 2 to 3 clients and you have to be driving from one client location to another. And your working conditions, it can be the same, right? You can have one client for a couple of years, or you can be moved from one client to the other. And the salary is between $8.50 and $10 an hour for the personal care aid. So we do have another opportunity, which is the certified nursing assistant, which, you know, a lot of people know it as the CNA. So for CNA, you are required by law to have certification. And you will be also reading vital signs of these clients. You have to make sure that you are maintaining a healthy environment in this client's homes. And the working condition for the CNA, some of it is you will be lifting a minimum of 50 pounds. And also you will be responsible for getting to the client's home. And the salary scale is also the same as the personal care aid. But there's a caveat for the CNA. If you do have certification in the CNA, you will be able to negotiate your salary. So the job requirements for the CNA and the PCA. So when it comes to the PCA, the employer will do the training on his premises for you. And you are going to be getting a certificate that is approved in Virginia. And also with a CNA, you will be connected with an institution where you will be able to get that CNA license as well. And please know that the employer is going to do a personality check, personality test, also credit check. They'll also do a background check on you, and also drug testing, because you should also remember that you are going to be working with clients, and these things are important. So someone is going to ask, what is the training cost? So for the PCA, for now, it's costing $365. So the employer is going to ask a $200 upfront, and you can pay the $165 before you graduate. The final payment can also be deducted from your payroll. So if you don't have the $165, it can be taken out of your payroll. And the training for the PCA is between 4 to 5 business days. So Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. The CNA will cost $880, and it usually takes between 4 to 6 weeks to get that certification. And there will be some clinical rotation, which takes between 1 to 2 weeks. PCA also, you will have a day or two of a hands-on training. So some notes that I want you to put at the back of your mind. So the clients will be based in the Hampton Roads, Virginia, Norfolk Beach area, or Chesapeake, Portsmouth, and Suffolk. So the Hampton Road area, you are going to be connecting to the Virginia metro area within 2 hours of Fredericksburg and King George's County. So someone will say that I don't live in Virginia. How do I get there? So housing is also a big thing. And we have been in touch with a few realtors who can also help locate or help you settle in Virginia if and when you are ready. And you can always go online and look for affordable housing. And I would say that it will be great to have roommates if you get that opportunity as well. And in our day and age, we are all dealing with COVID, and someone will say that this is taking care of clients and being in their home. Are they vaccinated? Am I going to be vaccinated? Absolutely. You will have the option of getting your COVID vaccine if you've not been vaccinated, so that you will have that peace of mind going into the client's home and giving them that excellent service. And also, if you are interested in this opportunity, please put your information in the chat. I have Andrea also writing down information for us so that we can get in touch with you if you are interested in these two opportunities that I just talked about. So now we are going to open up the lines for any Q&A that you have, or any questions that you have.
Okay, thank you so much, Barbara. And then Janelle, thank you so much. I do have a question here. For those on OPT, when can they start this process?
They can start as soon as once you have OPT, and just let me make it clear in case some people don't know, that stands for optional practical training, which is basically the permission to work that you get once you've graduated. So if you have post-completion OPT, please get in touch with Barbara, and you're interested in this opportunity, get in touch with Barbara right away so that she can put you in touch with the employer. One thing I would suggest is my law office, Lojo Immigration. We do offer just immigration assessments that we're doing for the employer. And that is to just give you an idea of the likelihood of success of your case. The reason being is, for example, if you have OPT, one concern would be how much OPT do you have? Okay, do you have a year, 12 months of OPT, or are you someone who you've had your OPT already 10 months and you only have 2 months left? Because you remember when I showed you the slide with the stages of the green card process, you need to be able to get to stage 3, which is filing the adjustment of status, in order to be able to get work authorization based on the case. So essentially, your OPT has to last you long enough to be able to file the I-485 adjustment so that you can be reauthorized for work. So that is a concern. Another one too, concerning the likelihood of success, is immigration looks to see, are you still maintaining status? Okay, because if you've already fallen out of status, that is a problem. All right, if you've already fallen out of status, that is a problem, or you have like a certain amount of unauthorized employment already. These are the sorts of things. And then of course, if you have criminal issues, or you've ever been in immigration proceedings, meaning immigration court, those are also things that will affect your likelihood of success. So I do recommend that you do an immigration assessment with us, but definitely contact Barbara. She can put you in touch with the employer.
Thank you so much. I see that Bizerb has raised his hand. Bizerb, you can ask your question.
Okay. I am, with regards to the what do you call the offers you made mention. I heard of CNA and PCA, which are basically, I wouldn't call categorize them as probably nursing jobs, but then these are more of nursing jobs. But then I have background. I did MS Industrial Finance and Investment, and I'm doing MPA as my second master's, and I don't have any background in nursing. So I don't know what my options are, or how best this program can probably help me, or I don't know.
Well, I'm glad that you are doing MPA. And MPA, is it in the medical field, or can you explain?
No, please. Sorry, general public administration concentration.
Okay. So when it comes to the two opportunities that I spoke to you about, the PCA, you don't have to be a medical student to do this. Anybody can do it. All right. So long as you have the passion of taking care of clients, you can be their companion. You can take them to their appointments, depending on what the client needs. So it doesn't necessarily mean that you need to have a nursing background.
Thanks.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much,
Bizerb,
Barbara.
I'll just add to what Barbara said. She's absolutely correct. The job can be done even if you don't have a nursing background. That's why they have the training course, right? That's why they have the training course, so you can get the necessary certificate for Virginia. Now, concerning your OPT, it is a fact that, with OPT, the work that you do has to have a relation, a nexus with your degree, what you studied. And this is at the point where, in fact, you need to be a little bit creative in connecting what you have studied with the job opportunity. Okay. And one thing I am is I'm actually a very creative person. So I can just think, someone with a master's in public administration. I mean, we think about issues of, healthcare. Okay, issues of healthcare in the United States, things with Medicaid, Medicare. Okay, so perhaps this can be an extension of, okay, you've studied public administration. Now you are seeing how practically these Medicaid, Medicare in the United States is being used to provide the necessary care for disabled or elderly people in the United States. So yes, you are going to have to show a nexus with your studies.
Thank you so much, Janelle, because that was a question I can see that people were actually asking that question. How do you connect the two, especially for an OPT? So I am glad that question has been answered as well. And thank you, Bizerb, also for your question. I have another question. Can F2 visa holders also benefit?
Okay. Yes and no. Okay. As far as the sponsorship itself, anyone can be sponsored, but consider this: the employer, how Barbara did the slide, what's in it for me? Okay. Something also, what's in it for the employers? They're getting somebody to work for them for 2 to 3 years. Okay. They're getting someone to work for them. So the thing with this is F2 visa holders are not given employment authorization. Okay. F2 visa holders do not get OPT, they do not get EAD, the employment authorization document. So simply being in F2, you're not going to have permission to work for this employer. Okay. So, as I said, I'm creative. So, what's the workaround? While you are in F2, you don't have permission to work for them. However, if you were to, some kind of way arrange or, contract with the employer that, hey, do this process for me. When we get to stage 3, which is the filing of the adjustment of status, I can request, once I file the adjustment of status, I can request the EAD, employment authorization document. Okay, now once I am authorized to work in the United States, I commit to doing this 2-3 years with your company. You understand? So as long as you're going to give the employer the years of service that they are requesting in order to sponsor you. But just straight off the bat, someone with F2 doesn't have independent employment authorization.
Okay, thank you so much. I do have another question. After getting your green card, are you obligated to stay with the employer?
Okay, this is my understanding. Okay, so it's a yes and a no. It's always both. It's always both. Okay. If you have already been, because the employer requires employment commitment, okay? So if you have already been working for them for 2 years, and then you get your green card, typically after 6 months to 1 year, you can leave, okay? Because you've already been working with them. If you are someone who, this example I gave about the F2, you haven't done the prior work with the employer, because remember I said they want the commitment. So if you've only been working for them for 6 months, by the time the green card is approved, they're going to expect that you're going to stay longer with them so that they get their 2-year commitment. You understand that?
Yes, yes, please. Thank you. I do have another question here. Who pays the 10,000 USD? Is it the employer or employee?
Okay, that portion of the case is paid for by the employee, because you understand the employer is already paying for the labor certification. Okay, the whole labor certification process, because you may not know, but it involves advertising, and there are very specific steps that they have to take. So the employer has already paid for all of that. So the portion that we listed in the PowerPoint slide, that is paid by the employee.
Okay, thank you so much. Another question here is, can those of us in Ghana but with special skills apply? or is it just limited to those in the United States?
It will be, you get me. So the answer is yes, you can apply, but because you've been in Ghana the whole time, you've not worked for the employer. So then for you, once you arrive, now your 2-year commitment with the employer will begin once you get here. So whether it's on the front end or on the back end, you are going to have to do the 2-year commitment with the employer. So all of this to say, the employer is not going to sponsor you. You come to America, you have a green card, you cannot just run off and go somewhere and never work for the employer.
Okay, I do have some few questions from our participants here. Let me just find this. I have this question from Steve. Are there any options for people who are out of status to obtain a green card, not necessarily linked to this program?
Okay, that's a general immigration question, and hey, maybe we can do a general immigration session another time. But to keep it on point to this, for employment-based green card process, you cannot get a employment-based green card if you're already out of status. Okay, you cannot. As far as what options are available, that's a discussion for another forum.
Okay, I do have another question here. Can you have another job aside this one whilst on OPT?
Barbara, I'll let you take that one.
Absolutely, absolutely. Because as you can see, the salary range is not a whole lot to sustain you. And that is why I said, if you go for a roommate and all of that, but OPT, yes, you have the option of having another job. We currently have an employee working with his employer right now who have attained 2 jobs. So she is doing this work and also working in another field to make ends meet. So it's all up to you. If you have the capacity to add on another job, absolutely, you can do that.
Okay, I think this is just my question. Would that have any implications, or would that affect the person's status?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
So OPT does allow for multiple employment. Now, each of these jobs has to have some type of nexus to what you studied, but you can have multiple jobs.
Okay, all right, thank you. I do have...
And I'd like to add that the employer is requesting that you work 40 hours minimum, right? So if you have the capacity of doing more, they can give you more shifts, but the minimum is 40 hours. And also the employer is requesting that you work 1 weekend. It can be either a Saturday or a Sunday.
Okay, so is it 1 weekend within the period?
1 weekend within the week.
Okay, within the week. Okay, thank you. Another question here is, I am here on a B visa, but I have applied to adjust my status. Once that goes through, can I apply?
I will leave that for you now.
Okay. If you're here on a B, just so people understand, a B visa is a visitor's visa or tourist visa, okay? So the only way a visitor or a tourist can apply to adjust their status is if they have an immigration petition, okay? I don't know this, and this is, I don't know this individual who's asking the question. Is it that, a parent or has somebody sponsored you before? And if that is the issue, if the person has already sponsored you, then you wouldn't need this employer to sponsor you, because generally you can't just file an adjustment of status unless you have a immigrant petition as a basis, whether it's a petition through an employer or a petition through a relative. So yeah, and the other thing is, if any of you have immigration questions, you're welcome to contact our office. You can do a paid legal consultation. I'll talk about your specific immigration issues. But I don't understand why someone who already is being sponsored would need this opportunity.
Okay, I do have another question here. Are there specific documents needed to start this process?
Document.
The main document you need is employment authorization. Employment authorization. So having your EAD, employment authorization document. And once, you know, or even if you've applied, because I know there are a number of students who they graduated, they've applied, the EAD hasn't quite been approved yet. So if you are eligible or you've applied for the EAD, by all means, contact Barbara, Andrea, Millie. They're also on the line today. Please get in touch with them. Let them know you're interested in the opportunity. And then, as I said, my law office, Lojo Immigration, we are offering immigration assessments for people who are candidates for this job, just to let you know, hey, do you have some red flag in your history that would prevent you from being able to get a green card?
Okay, thank you so much. I think the first question has been corrected, and it says that I am here on a B visa, but I have applied to adjust my status to an F1 visa. Once that goes through, can I apply?
Okay, I understand. Thank you for clarifying the question, and I'll clarify so everybody understands. Adjustment of status is only, that term in the immigration law is only when you are applying for permanent residence to become a green card holder. Anytime you change from one temporary status to another, it's called change of status. So in fact, what you've applied for is a B change of status to an F. So you don't use the word adjustment unless you are seeking a green card. So, okay, if you have applied to change to a student, my answer would be not yet, okay? Because simply having a pending change of status does not give you permission to work in the United States. Also, once the change of status is approved, you're approved to be a student. That too doesn't give you permission to work in the United States. So in order to start work with this company, you need the employment authorization. But I will say this, for anybody who's interested in doing this prospectively, okay, meaning, okay, I don't have permission to work right now, but can we start the process so that once I get to the stage when I have my employment authorization, I'm going to join this company that Barbara is talking about, and I'm going to work my 2 years. So if you are interested in prospective, then still get in touch with Barbara, Andrea, or Millie at Omni and let them know you are interested in prospective, meaning you will do the 2 years once you are able.
Okay, thank you so much. And I believe this may be the last question. I have been approved for the EAD and have a job. What do I do to apply?
Okay. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Barbara. You take it.
Well, what you have to do is please get in touch with us and we will walk you through the process. So if you can please give this candidate our information, that would be great so that they can get in touch with us, either Andrea or Millie.
Okay. So I don't know if any of our participants online have any question here. Okay, so in the absence of their questions, I would just love to say a very huge and big thank you, first off, to Barbara of Omni Global, and also Esquire Janelle Oklu, as well as Andrea and then Millie for the work behind the scenes and all of it. I just want to say I really do appreciate it as well. For those who are not here and are unable to see the details, you can just connect with info@aspireskillshub.com and I'll be happy to give you the information. But before we wrap up, I have a question from Steve, and he says that, is it guaranteed that you will get the green card after following through?
Okay, so nothing in this life is a guarantee. And even as a lawyer, like legally, we're not allowed to guarantee anything to anybody. But I will tell you this, it's a yes, very high likelihood of success. This is why we ask that you do the immigration assessment in the beginning, because if there's some reason why you will not be eligible for the green card, then it's best that you know upfront before then you get into the commitment. Okay, so that's why it's better to do the assessment in the beginning so we can let you know, hey, this may not work out. But if you go through the assessment, and yeah, very high likelihood of success. Yes.
Okay, thank you
And I
so
would
much.
and I would like to add on that from the immigration front, as Janelle said, that is correct. I am also looking at it from the employer standpoint. So the fact that you have your immigration and documents and everything is checked out well, you also have to fulfill your obligation as an employee. Are you working to the satisfaction of the employer? Because if you are not doing that, that also puts the whole process in jeopardy, because you have to show up, you have to do the work, the clients have to be satisfied with you, and the employer also have to be satisfied with your job performance. So that is also something that we should all be cognizant of.
Please, thank you. I do have a last question. Maybe two. This one says that, Janelle, what is your contact for a one-on-one immigration question? So I don't know if you will want to share that.
Certainly. I think it's in the chat. Check out the chat. Our website is www.lojolaw.com, LOJO law.com. So that's our website. Thank you, Andrea, for putting that up. That's our website. You can contact us with questions. And also, just in general, we're also on YouTube at Lojo Immigration, and also Facebook, Lojo Immigration.
Thank you. And the last one as well. How much does it cost for the immigration assessment from your office?
Okay, so if you are a candidate, with Omni for the job, then we do a 15-minute immigration assessment for free. Okay, if you are seeking employment with Barbara's clients, then we do it for free. But if you want just general, hey, let's talk about immigration or other things that are not related to Omni, then we do charge for a consultation. And our immigration consultations are $200 for 30 minutes, or we do a reduced rate of $300 for a full hour.
Thank you so much once again. In the absence of any questions, I just want to ask first of another question.
Yes, another question.
Okay. Irene. Okay. Where Irene? Okay, Irene says, I just joined. Can I get a brief description of this meeting? Okay, so Irene, my name is Amanda, and I do manage the Aspire Skills Hub. We are an educational services as well as career development and skills training. Today, we do have our guest from Omni Global Solutions, and we do have Barbara here, and we do have Janelle Oklu, who is a lawyer and immigration attorney, and they've been able to introduce us to some job opportunities that are available with Omni Global Solutions. And Janelle has been able to take us through the process, especially for international students as well. So this is just a brief summary for that. So I hope that helps. Any other question? Okay, so just final words from Barbara and Janelle, then we can wrap it up.
Well, I will say that it's a pleasure to meet all of you, and potentially I do hope that we will get the chance to work with many, many, many of you. And as I said earlier, it is a great opportunity, and I am expecting that, I am an immigrant, right? And I will say that getting access to work in the United States and also making sure and having the opportunity to live here, it's great. So this is a really good opportunity for you to work for this employer. And he is eager to work with any and all of you. He's also expecting that you come in and put your best foot forward. In as much as he's sponsoring you for a green card, he's also expecting you to work hard. So that is what I am also putting it out there. The fact that he's filing or helping get the immigration status going for you does not mean that you are not going to do the work. He is expecting you to do the work as well. So please, we are ready to have you on board, and I'm expecting great things. I do not want to be called and said that, you are not doing the work or you are acting up or any of that sort. So please make sure that you come in and do what is expected. And he is also going to do his part as well.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Janelle.
Okay, all right. I just want to say that I can't stress enough what a really great opportunity this is that Barbara is talking about. Because as an immigration lawyer, like I said, I've been doing this over 15 years, okay? I don't know how many international students, they get in touch with me, sadly, after the fact. Okay, they've graduated, they've gotten their degree, and then either they are not able to find a job during their OPT period, or perhaps they've worked for some employer, but the employer didn't sponsor their green card. And so now they are running up on, okay, I'm almost toward the end of my time in the US. What do I do? What do I do? I'm stuck. This sort of thing. And so for Barbara and the folks at Omni to offer something like this is a excellent opportunity. So my thing is, if you are interested, contact them. Also, if you have any friends, okay, who maybe they're looking for something like this is amazing. Because also as an immigration lawyer, I know, because so many times I've consulted with people who maybe they do a degree, they are not able to secure their green card. Then it's, oh, let me re-enroll and do a second degree or a third degree. Or I run into people who they've been in F1 status maybe for like 8 or 10 years because they are trying to, and so rather than doing that, why not look at this opportunity that Barbara has been talking to us about today? Yeah, it's true, the salary is kind of no high, is quite low, but that compared to how much money are you paying out to get a second degree and a third degree and a fourth degree, why not take the opportunity now to secure your immigration status? Okay, if it means taking the 2-3 years commitment, okay, let me work for this employer for 2 years, get my green card, now I'm free to do whatever I want in the United States. Now I have freedom really to pursue the American dream because immigration is not an issue because now I have the green card. Okay, so something for the folks to think about.
I think I still do have one question.
When I do my consultations, so many times people have one more last question. Okay, last question.
So this question says that how long does it take to change from a B visa to F1 visa if one is refused the F1 visa at the embassy?
Okay, so one, I'll say this is one of those, and we'll have to do a separate immigration session because it's not specific to what Barbara is talking about today. But generally, the change of status requests, this is a processing times thing. It's true, they're taking more than 6 months. Okay, they are taking more than 6 months for a change of status request. And for this individual, what I'm guessing is you tried to get a student visa at the embassy, they didn't give it to you, but you have a visitor's visa. Long story short, schedule a legal consultation. Legal consultation. When you get into these, you know what I'm saying, your specific situation, I'm sure this session, we want something that is applicable to everybody, but yeah.
Oh, wow. Thank you so much once again to Barbara, Janelle, Millie, and Andrea, and the participants who joined us. I really, really do appreciate it. It's been very insightful. I've learned a lot. I've been able to at least figure out certain things. And I really do hope that everyone and anyone who is interested, we do have the contact information for Omni Global Solutions as well as for Janelle as well. So please just feel free to contact us at info@aspireskillshub.com, and I'll be very, very, very happy to connect you with them, because this is an opportunity of a lifetime, and I don't think you want to miss out on this opportunity. So please grab this opportunity. Don't let time go by. Just grab this opportunity. We are always here to help you. In case you watch this session later on, please feel free to connect with us and ask your questions. And if you want a one-on-one immigration questions asked as well, please, as Janelle said, kindly pay for your session and have a one-on-one with her so she can advise you on that as well. So once again, I want to say thank you so much from me, Amanda of Aspire Skills Up. I really do appreciate the information a lot, and I do hope we are able to have you again very, very soon in the future. Thank you so much, and have a blessed weekend.
Thank you, Amanda.
Bye.
Okay.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you so much.